Have you ever wondered, when you stop initiating contact, when you stop seeking them out if they miss you, if they ponder your sudden absence? Does your silence make them realize your worth, or does it simply bring them relief at their newfound freedom? Today, we embark on a fascinating journey of psychological exploration to decode the complex emotions they might experience when you decide to disappear from their life. From initial surprise and confusion to a lingering sense of longing, even regret for not appreciating you, all will be revealed. But remember, the principle we discussed today is not merely a trick to make someone miss you. It's also a stepping stone for you to become someone others respect and admire, someone remembered not for their disappearance but for the strength and allure they gained in their absence. This is your time to rise, to show them and yourself that your worth is immeasurable. And before we delve into those secrets, I have a small challenge to set the tone for what's to come. If you're ready to step into your power and let your silence speak louder than any words, leave a comment below with the phrase, "My absence will speak volumes." This is not just a statement, but an affirmation of your strength, determination, and commitment to. Have you ever wondered if, when you stop initiating contact, stop searching, whether that person will miss you or question your sudden absence? Will your silence make them realize your value, or will it simply bring them a sense of relief at the newfound freedom? Today, we will embark on an intriguing psychological journey together, decoding the complex emotions that person might experience when you decide to disappear from their life. From the initial surprise and confusion to deep longing and even regret for not appreciating you, everything will be revealed. But remember, principles we discuss today are not merely tricks to make someone miss you. They also serve as a stepping stone for you to become someone who others must respect and admire, someone remembered not because they disappeared, but because they grew stronger and more captivating in their absence. This is your moment to rise, to show them and yourself that your value is beyond measure. And before we dive into those secrets, I have a small challenge to kickstart the upcoming journey. If you're ready to step into your power and let your silence speak louder than any words, leave a comment below with the phrase, "My absence will speak for me." This is not just a statement, but an affirmation of your strength, determination, and commitment to becoming someone unforgettable. Imagine being the radiant sun in someone's life. Your warm rays embrace them. Your shimmering light ignites joy in each new day, and your presence fuels their happiness like an endless source of energy. But then, one day, that sun abruptly vanishes. The clear blue sky turns gray and gloomy. Coldness creeps in, invading every corner, replacing the warmth that was once taken for granted. With each passing moment, the emptiness becomes more pronounced, like a lingering wound that refuses to heal. Now, let's lift the veil of secrecy together and delve into the 8 psychological stages a person might go through when you cease contact. This will be a fascinating journey to understand the power of silence and how it can impact others. Surprise and confusion are undoubtedly the first emotions she'll face in your absence. Your sudden silence, like a bolt from the blue, will leave her in a sea of bewilderment and confusion. She's grown accustomed to your constant presence, always ready to listen, share, and care. Your presence has become an integral part of her life, like a soothing soundtrack playing in the background of her mind. But now, that music has abruptly stopped, leaving behind a vast and unsettling void. She'll start questioning herself, desperately searching for a reason behind this sudden change. Did she inadvertently say something that hurt you? Or did she unknowingly do something to upset you? These questions will swirl in her mind like a vortex with no escape. This confusion might lead her to act out of character. Perhaps she'll incessantly text and call you, trying to find any sign that you're okay. Or she might retreat into silence and isolation, lost in her thoughts and worries. Your silence, whether intentional or unintentional, can create a significant shock for her. It forces her to confront the reality that she can't control everything, that some things are beyond her grasp. This surprise and confusion can be a challenging experience, but it can also be an opportunity for her to reevaluate the relationship and recognize your value in her life. Sometimes silence is the most powerful voice. It can make others pause, reflect, and realize what they've been missing. And when they recognize your worth, they'll yearn even more to have you back in their lives. Next, the feelings of loneliness, emptiness, and being lost enveloped her when you stopped pursuing her. She felt like a flower slowly wilting due to the lack of sunlight and care. She wondered if she had trusted too quickly in the budding emotions between the two of you, questioning whether those feelings were just fleeting. Day by day, she had grown accustomed to your attention, the morning texts, and the late-night conversations. She couldn't understand why you changed, why you suddenly stopped caring for her like before. Your actions made her start questioning herself, and countless questions about this change kept swirling in her mind. The feeling of loneliness gradually took over her soul, making her anxious and restless. She reminisced about the coffee dates, the walks hand in hand under the shimmering streetlights. All those moments were now just sweet but distant memories, causing her heart to ache. She wondered if you thought about her as much as she was thinking about you. Did you know that your silence was making her confused and insecure? She longed for a message, a call, even just a small sign to reassure her that this affection was still cherished. But day after day, the silence continued. She began to face the harsh truth that maybe you no longer had feelings for her. A wave of disappointment surged through her, mixed with a bit of self-blame for trusting too easily. She told herself she had to be strong to forget you and move on. But could she do it when her heart still ached every time she thought of you? She might have taken your presence for granted, assuming you would always be there, but now that you've stepped back, she is forced to confront what life is like without you. You might wonder, but what if she doesn't care? What if my presence wasn't that important to her? This is a legitimate concern and a question many of us fear. But what you need to remember is that if she truly doesn't care, if your absence doesn't cause even the slightest ripple, then that tells you something important. Perhaps, just perhaps, this relationship wasn't as meaningful as you thought. And although this may be difficult to face, it is also a clarity that is invaluable. Next, she might regret and reflect on herself. Imagine that the two of you had been together for a long time. You were always caring, attentive, and listened to her in every situation. However, instead of appreciating those things, she took your actions for granted. She thought you would always be there, that your feelings for her would never change. When you left, she began to feel the void that you left behind. She asked herself, what did I do wrong? Why didn't I realize his value sooner? The memories of the times you helped her through difficulties, the meals you prepared after a long day at work, have now become precious memories that she can't go back to. The things she once considered normal are now what she longs to have again. Imagine being the favorite dish on someone's life menu. She has savored you countless times to the point of forgetting the wonderful flavors and satisfaction you bring. But one day, she decides to try a new dish, and everything changes. The initial novelty quickly gives way to disappointment, and she suddenly realizes that nothing can replace that familiar dish. Your absence is the same. When you step back, she suddenly feels a void that's hard to fill. The cheerful messages, the warm conversations, the sincere encouragements, all those seemingly small things now become incredibly precious. She realizes that you were not just a part of her life, but also a source of positive energy, a pillar of support, a simple joy she always sought. Now that you're no longer there, she acutely feels your absence in every moment. In times of difficulty, she yearns for you to be by her side for sharing and encouragement. In moments of joy, she wishes you were there to laugh and celebrate with her. Your absence serves as a constant reminder of what she has lost, of your value that she once took for granted. Her process of self-reflection didn't stop at just recognizing her mistakes. It also involved a deep realization of the value of someone she had taken for granted. She began to feel the pain of realizing that she had lost something important in her life. And at that moment, regret began to flood her mind. When she realized her mistakes, she often wanted a chance to make things right. She wanted to prove that she had changed and would not repeat those mistakes. She might decide to apologize to you, expressing her regret and desire to fix her wrongs. She could write a letter, explaining what she had realized and what she was willing to do to get a second chance. But whether you would accept her apology and give her that chance to make amends depends on your feelings and decision. Self-reflection and regret for past mistakes are two natural processes she might go through when she realizes your value, someone she once took lightly. These emotions can be painful, but they are also an opportunity for her to learn, grow, and become better. Whether she can rectify her mistakes depends on her sincerity, the real change in her actions and attitude, as well as your forgiveness. In any case, this process helps her recognize the importance of valuing the people around her before it's too late. Number 4, she observes you from afar. Social media, once a place of connection, now transforms into a stage for her internal monologues. Every status update, every moment you share is meticulously scrutinized under her magnifying glass, as if she's a private investigator on the trail. She yearns to decode your every expression, to know what you're doing, who you're with, and most importantly, how you're feeling after letting her go. Do your statuses hint at sadness and melancholy, or do you maintain a cheerful and energetic facade as if nothing has changed? Do you frequently showcase lively moments with friends, or do you quietly post solitary pictures? Every like, every comment you leave becomes a cryptic puzzle she painstakingly tries to solve. She searches for any sign that you still remember her, or if you've completely moved on and forgotten. She even compares your current posts to those from the past when you were close, as if searching for a key to unlock your heart. She might spend hours immersed in your virtual world, rereading old statuses and gazing at faded photos. She hopes to find something familiar, something that evokes the beautiful memories you both shared. But then, she realizes that social media is just a stage where everyone can play a role. What you present there might just be a mask, concealing your true emotions. Perhaps you're projecting strength to hide your sadness, or maybe you genuinely have moved on and are enjoying a new life. Unwilling to remain a passive observer, she might actively try to provoke you with cryptic statuses, reminiscing about shared memories, inside jokes, or songs you both loved. She posts radiant pictures of herself, checks in at luxurious locations, and showcases an independent and exciting life. All of this is aimed at capturing your attention, making you curious about what she's doing and thinking. Sometimes she even engages in a silent competition with you on social media. She boasts about her achievements, travels, and new experiences, as if to prove that she's unaffected by your departure, that she's still living a vibrant and meaningful life. Yet beneath this facade of strength and confidence, she still longs for your attention and care. She hopes her efforts will make you realize her worth and regret letting her go. But ultimately, she understands that dwelling in the virtual world only brings her more pain and exhaustion. She needs to break free from this obsession, focus on her own life, learn to let go of the past, and open her heart to the possibilities of the future. After exhausting all her tricks to capture your attention, but receiving no response, she will gradually sink into the depths of disappointment and sadness. Unanswered messages, missed calls, ignored statuses, all feel like knives piercing her heart, tearing apart the fragile hope of reconnection. The feeling of helplessness and abandonment will slowly replace her initial persistence and determination. She realizes that perhaps the wall of silence you've built is too strong, impenetrable. No matter how hard she tries, she can't reach your heart, can't rekindle the dormant emotions. Sadness and disappointment will engulf her, making her feel small and worthless. The once beautiful memories now become shattered fragments, reminding her of a lost love. She might blame herself, wondering what she did wrong, what shortcomings she had that made you leave her. However, after the tears and pain, she will gradually realize that she can't remain trapped in the past. Though heartbroken, she'll have to accept the harsh truth that some things can't be forced, some relationships have run their course, and then she will learn to rise, to bravely walk on her own path, to seek a new love, a new happiness that is more deserving of what she is given. It's a difficult and painful process. There will be long nights when she tosses and turns, unable to sleep, and moments when tears flow uncontrollably. But in time, all wounds will heal. She will gradually learn to accept the reality, to live without you. She will seek solace and support from friends and family. She will find new hobbies and passions to fill the void in her heart. Gradually, she will realize that life goes on, and there are still many wonderful things waiting for her ahead. She will become stronger, more mature, and ready to open her heart to a new love, a love that deserves what she has to offer. Although a small corner of her heart will always belong to you, she won't let the past hinder her progress. She will move on with a smile on her lips and faith in the future. Finally, let's face it, not every time you stop pursuing a woman, she'll automatically come back to you. Imagine you're enjoying a beautiful symphony and suddenly one instrument stops playing. If the music continues without any noticeable difference, it means that instrument wasn't a crucial element of the performance. But if its absence leaves a distinct void, if the music feels incomplete and loses some of its vibrancy, then you realize how vital that instrument truly was. Relationships are similar. If your absence doesn't make a difference, perhaps you don't play as significant a role as you thought, and that's okay, because it allows you to move forward with a clearer understanding of your true place in that relationship and seek out more meaningful and genuine connections where your presence is truly valued. Don't delude yourself into thinking that distance will magically fix this relationship. A woman will only seek you out if she still has genuine feelings for you. If she's indifferent and apathetic, it's a clear sign that you shouldn't waste any more time and effort on this one-sided connection. She becomes cold and distant, as if you never existed in her life. Your messages are met with silence, your calls go unanswered, and all your efforts to get her attention are in vain. Don't fool yourself into thinking she's playing hard to get or testing you. The harsh truth is, she's no longer interested. For instance, if she used to be the one initiating texts and checking in on you daily, now she might go silent for weeks, even months. If she used to happily accept your date invitations, now she might decline with vague excuses like busy, tired, or not interested. Perhaps she's grown tired of the games and endless chase. Maybe she's realized her self-worth and doesn't want to waste time on an ambiguous relationship. Or perhaps her heart has turned toward someone else, someone who truly appreciates and loves her. For example, she might start posting pictures with another man, or share cryptic statuses about a new love. Whatever the reason, her indifference is a clear signal for you to stop. Don't try to hold on to someone who doesn't want to stay. Don't demean yourself by chasing after a fading shadow. For instance, instead of constantly texting or calling her, focus on your work, hobbies, and other relationships. Show her that you can live well without her. Remember, the world is vast, and there are many wonderful people waiting for you. Don't let someone unworthy hinder your path to happiness. And that encapsulates the complex emotional journey someone might experience when you decide to stop pursuing them, from initial surprise and confusion to longing and regret, and finally acceptance and moving on. These are natural emotional stages that anyone can go through in love. Remember, ignoring is not a game to manipulate someone's feelings, but a way to express your self-respect and value. It's also an opportunity for the other person to realize your importance in their life. However, always use this tactic wisely and responsibly. Don't let it become a tool to inflict pain or damage the relationship. Ultimately, keep in mind that true love doesn't come from force or control, but from sincerity and mutual respect. Let your absence be a powerful message, a reminder of your worth, but also be open to embracing the good things the future holds, whether or not that person is by your side.